These two do sound like they were made for each other, and they're bringing y'all a brand new sound. Please welcome the amazing Tony Bennett and Lady. She loves y'all too.
That's right, I love y'all too.
Right. Listen, apparently people were incredibly surprised when they heard that the two of you were in partnership because they thought, wow, he's older and you know, why is this happening? Different music styles. How did you guys actually meet?
Why don't you tell her, Tony?
I don't remember. It's like we've always been here.
I know. It's true. It's every day I spend with him, I feel like I've known him my whole life. But we actually met at a charity event. So good to see you, Whoopi.
Good to see you.
How are you?
Just good.
We were at the Robin Hood charity event in New York. We were, you know, we throw a bunch of rich people in the room who pay money to raise money for all the poor people in New York. And we were singing, and I was singing, and Tony just happened to be in the audience. And I thought that the audience might like some standards that night because I'd been singing jazz my whole life. And then after the show, they said, "Oh, Mr. Tony Bennett wants to meet you." I said, "Oh my God, I sang jazz in front of Tony Bennett." What was I thinking? But he's asked me immediately to make an album with him, and you know, I've just been in heaven ever since. I'll tell you.
And you said that recording this experience with Tony was refreshing and new, and it started when he walked into the studio. What did you mean by that?
Well, you know, Tony's just... I'm sorry, I'm going to talk a lot about you. Don't be upset with me.
Thank you.
You know, he's just such a gentleman, and he's all about the music, and he's all about the art. You know, when he's not singing, he's making paintings, and he's sketching, and when he's not sketching, he's singing, or he's creating arrangements, or building a school for kids to learn about music. And he always has a suit on when I come into the studio, and all of the players always stand up for me when I arrive, and the music's all laid out for me. And the truth is that I started out as a musician. So when I got into the pop industry, it was kind of uncomfortable for me because everything's very, you know, regimented and electronic, and you know, it's all about how you look and things being perfect. But you know, with Tony, it was all about being authentically great and talented. And I'm so grateful to him. Thank you for giving me this chance.
This album debuted at #1 on the Billboard, and that made you the oldest person to ever debut at #1, which seems quite obvious. It would be #1. But, you know, what obviously, I can see you both inspire each other, but what else still inspires you to stay in the art, stay in the craft?
Well, I love to entertain people, and I could have retired 17 years ago, but I love it so much, I never want to stop.
Did you know, I don't know if you know that, but Rosie Perez, why don't you tell us about what it is, why you love him, and your dad. Go ahead. Go ahead, baby.
Oh, you caught me off guard. This wasn't in the cards.
I know.
Well, Mr. Bennett, I had a very difficult childhood, and when I would go to Puerto Rico to visit my father, we didn't know how to speak to one another. So he would put on Nat King Cole, but he would always put on Tony Bennett. And when Tony Bennett, when the needle would drop, he would start talking. And all he would talk about was your artistry and say that you were the gentleman of jazz. And so my father and I bonded over your music.
Oh, that's good.
Well, baby. Life magazine has done an incredible book about Tony, which he has signed for you, baby. It's him. Oh, no, it's him.
Thank you.
I'd like to meet your dad someday.
Oh, was we fast?
This is very, very beautiful. Aww.
That's the power of music, and Gaga, apologize for kissing me. I'm gonna take a picture.
That's so terrible.
No, but that's the power of music, and
I'm
that's
so
the power of
glad.
what you guys
I'm
do.
so glad you told that story.
Oh, thank you.
Because that's exactly how he makes everybody feel. And I could not be more honored every day of my life to be standing next to you. I mean, I got to tell you, thank God you didn't retire 17 years ago, because what the hell would I be doing right now?
So you guys... Tony, you guys have gotten so close. Gaga did something very special for you for your birthday this summer, is that right?
Absolutely. I was at the Fairmont Hotel in San Francisco, and I look out, and there's an airplane, and a beautiful red airplane with a long letter, Tony Bennett, happy birthday, Lady Gaga.
Amazing. Now we know that it's not quite your birthday yet, Gaga, but did you have something special we heard for Gaga for her birthday, an early birthday present, Mr. Bennett? Is that right?
Well,
no?
he does actually do it for me all the time. It's very sweet, but Tony sketches me all the time while we're working.
Yes.
And he gave me the most beautiful sketches today.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, don't rush it, girl. I'm 28. My birthday's not till March.
Well, you know what? We could talk to them forever, but we'd rather that you hear rather than have us talk. So when we come back, Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga are performing right here.